This broadcast is partnered by Venice AI. Have you ever thought about what an AI is doing with your chat history? Did you know that Alexa listens in to recommend products and Meta retargets us based on what we click? Most AI platforms like ChatGPT store everything you say and attach it to your identity. They even tend to share it with third parties or other unknown entities. One may ask themselves, why am I handing over my data so easily? That's when today's partners come in. Venice AI. Venice AI prioritizes privacy. It is a private, permissionless AI platform that keeps your data safe. As a creator, I personally use it to brainstorm video ideas, create thumbnails, and also use it to clean up any posts I put on social media. I'm not the best writer, so it's always good to have something to make sure what I write is understood and readable. So if you're ready to level up your experience and keep your privacy intact, you can sign up using my link, venice.ai/Alyx, to get 20% off its pro plan. So don't miss out. Level up your AI experience with Venice AI today. We are 1 week away from WWE Money in the Bank 2025. The matches are shaping up. The qualifying matches are coming to an end. It's looking like this is going to be yet another banger PLE. Actually, banger PLE weekend for both WWE and NXT. I'm looking at that NXT versus AAA Worlds Collide show. That's looking stacked too. Vikingo versus Chad Gable? Absolutely. I'm there. As well as that Fatal 4-Way for the North American Championship and other matches. Can't go wrong with Stephanie Baker and Lola Vice as a tag team. I am looking forward to next Saturday. That is going to be a great night for wrestling. If they go in the directions I hope they go in when it comes to Money in the Bank. Hello all. Welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm your host, Alyx, just Alyx, and this is my WWE Friday Night SmackDown review on a Saturday. I've gotten used to doing these on Saturdays because it's a lot more easier for me than sitting through 3 hours of Friday Night SmackDown, which don't seem to be ending anytime soon. And we're going to be talking about that. We have a whole slew of wrestling news to get through. You might want to buckle in. You might want to expect at least an hour and a half, if not 2-hour live show today. That's how much news I got to talk about. On top of the SmackDown review. So this is going to be a long one, and I'm excited to get into it. Quick thoughts on SmackDown. I thought it was a good show. It's feeling like the momentum is picking back up. We all know post-WrestleMania, WWE goes cold. Every time. It's an annual thing. It is expected post-WrestleMania there's a cool-down period. And usually when that cool-down period happens, this is where they try out new stories, new characters, new wrestlers, give them more TV time than others. Some things work, some things don't. But it's a great time to see what's working. And as things pick up towards SummerSlam, now you start to see big names like Bianca Belair, Cody Rhodes. You're starting to see more people, new faces come in. Stephanie Baker got moved up to Monday Night Raw. Jordan Grace is being moved up to SmackDown. Ricky Sanks is being moved up. I'm not too sure where he's going to land, but I'm hearing he's going to be on the main roster soon. So things are going to start picking up really, really quickly. And I'm excited about that. And see, this is the difference between WWE and AEW. When WWE goes cold, you already know why, and you expect them to get hot around certain periods of time. And usually they do. There are times like this past WrestleMania season where they didn't quite turn it up as much as we want them to, but we know when the cold periods are going to happen, and we are expecting them to get hot around certain periods of time. With AEW, they're just cold. They're just cold until they get hot, and that's not a good thing at all. But I'm excited. I'm seeing the storylines come into play. I love that Naomi is now in the Mrs. Money in the Bank ladder match. And she is my pick to win, by the way. Hopefully she does win. Or they might go with someone else like a Roxanne Perez, and I'm okay with that. Same thing for the men. I'm predicting that CM Punk wins on Monday, and I think he is my pick to win Money in the Bank. Although, they could go with LA Knight. A lot of people aren't talking about LA Knight. They should be, because this is his third Money in the Bank ladder match. He has to win one eventually. I'm fine with LA Knight winning the briefcase. Why wouldn't he? But on top of that, they're setting up Damian Priest and Jacob Fatu. Well, more like Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa, while also setting up Damian Priest and Jacob Fatu, which is fine with me. You're getting multiple feuds being built here. Long-term stories being told. I'm kind of going through the show in my head to see what else happened here. Tag team division is hot again because of the Wyatt 6 coming back. Excited about that one. Yeah, a lot of things are shaping up. A lot of storylines are coming into play. The main event with John Cena, with Logan Paul, with Cody Rhodes, with Jey Uso. It's interesting. Let me just get this off my chest now. You're seeing a lot of people upset about this John Cena heel run. They're saying, oh my God, it's not doing anything for anybody. I don't like it. I hate seeing that John Cena is a heel. And I go, that's the point. I love that we have a heel that actually gets heat. That people are begging to see get beat. Even the smart wrestling fans, even the smart, analytical, these people that have been in the business for such a long time, they think they know everything. They don't even like it. And I think it's intelligent work on Triple H's and John Cena's part that they're fooled. That they're even begging for Cena's reign to end. They're like, oh my God, I need John Cena to lose this belt sooner or later. It's working. It's working. He got him. John Cena said, I'm going to be a heel. I'm going to be someone they don't like. I'm going to ruin wrestling. It's working. Not every match he has, you're going to be on the edge of your seat hoping that he loses that belt. He'll lose it eventually. The question is, who? Cody? CM Punk? LA Knight? Something to think about. But this whole idea that his heel reign is terrible because you don't like it. You're not supposed to like it. You're supposed to hate it. You're supposed to despise it. You shouldn't want to see him be champion. Why is it that we live in an era of fans that want to like the heels? You're not supposed to like it. I remember the days where Triple H, for example, is the perfect example. Great wrestler. But back in the day, I hated him. I couldn't stand his voice. I couldn't stand seeing him on my TV screen. It made me want to change the channel. Until The Rock or Austin or anybody came out to make them look like fools. Kurt Angle, back in the day, fucking hated him. These are legit legends in the business. But they understood their role. They weren't there to sell t-shirts. They weren't there to make you like them. They did everything possible to make you despise them and make you want to see them get their asses kicked. That is exactly what John Cena is doing. And I hate to say it, but damn it, Logan Paul is good at it too. We have legit heels again. And of course, the smart wrestling fans can't understand it, they can't see it, they can't comprehend it. This heel turn's working. Of course it is. But, unfortunately, it's not going to last for long. We all know eventually it's going to come to an end, and it's coming to an end around Survivor Series, maybe even Saturday Night's main event. It's coming to an end later on this year. But it's working. And anyone saying it's not working, I feel like, I don't know. It just kind of feels like you can't win when it comes to Cena. When he was a babyface champion, we hated him. Now he's a heel champion, you hate it too. What do you want? You hated him then, you hate him now. and then all of a sudden he goes back to being a babyface champion, you're gonna say he's boring then too. Am I lying? Who here honestly wants to see a babyface run with John Cena? Who here really, like, real talk? Think about what the past babyface runs with John Cena looked like. Is that really what you want to see? Ask yourself that. No, it isn't. It really isn't. This idea of a Cinderella story with John Cena coming in, winning his last championship, and then going off into the sunset with his last title reign, and then vacating it. I don't think you realize how that doesn't work at all. It sounds good in your head. It sounds good because you feel like that's what he deserves. No, in reality, the way they're taking this, the way they're doing it, is the right way to go about it. We can argue semantics. We can argue, okay, maybe he could have done this better. Maybe we could have had him turn heel at WrestleMania instead of turning heel at Chamber. Fine. Okay. You can argue that with me all day, every day, and you might have a few points with that. But no, him ending his career as a heel was the right move. And I will fight anybody with that. I will fight anybody, any day, all day on that. I don't give a fuck who you are. Solid Monster, JD, you could be Jim Ross. I will go to bat for this decision every single fucking day of the year. It was the right goddamn move to turn him heel to end his run. Because that is how you go out. That is the old school way of ending your career. He's lost every single one of his matches for the last, 8 years or so? Since 2018. 5 or so years. Why would you all of a sudden want him to come back and have a babyface run? No. This is the storyline of a heel who knows his time is up, and he's clinging on to whatever is left. Nefarious means, whatever way he can. That is a great story, and that's the story they're telling. And guess what? When he loses that belt, he'll go back to being a babyface one last time before he leaves. That is the story that they're telling. That is the perfect story for John Cena. And I'm happy that he decided to do that to end his career. He didn't need to do that. He could just roll off into the sunset. Never turning heel. Well, never turning heel as this John Cena and going to Hollywood. This was the right move to make. I love the heel run. And I love that other people hate it because they're supposed to hate it. It just sucks that Cena cannot win. He can't win at all. Babyface champion, you hated him. Heel champion, you hated him. So you know what? If you're going to hate him as a heel fucking champion. That's all I'll say about it. I love it. Totally selfish answer. But I love it. Alright, let's go ahead and get into this SmackDown review. We have a lot to get to. We're going to hit things off with some wrestling news. Then we'll go into the review afterwards. But before then, you know how we do things. Let's go ahead and get to the spot. Well, we already did the advertisement with Venice AI earlier. So we'll get into the shout outs. We'll get into the plugs and all that kind of stuff. Thank you all for joining me on this Saturday afternoon. You could be anywhere else. You chose me and I'm grateful for it. So if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, your edits help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership. Click that join button and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks if you would like to donate after the fact. You can. Also, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at Just Alyx Central. Give me a follow on Instagram. Give me a follow on Spotify. Give me a follow on Cameo. Give me a follow on Threads. Follow us on Discord. Follow me on Blue Sky, where the skies are clearer. And give me a follow on TikTok, for I am the tickest of the talkest. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo. And yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalyxsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries, just to say hi. And please get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Are you a Just Alyx guy? Then join the club. Get you an I'm a Just Alyx guy t-shirt. Hot off the press. Also, get you an old school The Last Man t-shirt. Get you a new school Alyx's World t-shirt and many more t-shirt designs coming your way. So stay tuned. Join the cause. Expand the brand today, right here in Alyx's World. Thank you all to the lovely people joining me for today's, whenever you're watching this broadcast. Again, don't usually do these on Fridays anymore because SmackDown is too long and I got other things to do. So we moved it to Saturdays. Show your love to the Mod Squad. Ultra! Shiny Nights and Firestar Heart. Elias Ademi. New Japan Pro Wrestling Girl. Khalil does everything. Everything. Huh? We did danger. Teflon Don, the Mod Father. Zeno. Enigma. And of course, Big MGM because they help keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you and like us. Please be sure you like the video, because the more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So help boost that algorithm by hitting that like button. Who's here? Who's here in the live chat? Let me just go ahead and start ratting off names. Again, we're going to be here for a while because I have a lot I want to get to and a lot of things I want to talk about. The first person I see is Trey Licado. Good to have you here, Trey. JJ, who let the dogs out? Ooh, JJ Bulldog. EJ Swanson. Check this out. EJ Swanson says, hey, Alyx. Big fan of yours since 2015. And I'm now a 23-year-old independent wrestler from Chicago. Hey, my man. Thank you for joining me. Let me know how that's going, by the way. Ronwell Nagales says here, your former International Super Chat champion is here. I'm not going to be challenging for the Super Chat Championship because I have Duke Comic Con from New Mexico coming up on June 27th to 29th. Hey, respect it. My man, there are plenty of times this year you'll have an opportunity to go for a belt. I'm not recommending or requiring anybody to donate if they can't. The championships are invitations. But always know, when you compete for these titles, there be sharks in these waters. But please don't feel obligated. You are not obligated. You do not have to donate if you don't have to. If you don't have the money. You can't, don't do it. If you have other things you're saving up for, please save up for it. Please pay your bills. I'm good. I'm good because other people are investing in me. And everything that you guys invest in me goes right back into the channel. And it's always going to be that way. So please do not feel obligated to give me money if you can't afford to. Please. Let me see who we got. Deontay Belladonza. Game Shock. Rickardy. Yeah. Good to have you here. We also got Aaron Teagle. I see Miss Asuna Luna. I'm going to call you Asuna Luna. The former Catherine Tager Jr. We also got Sean Swaby. Baby! Yeah. Good to have you here. Nails Wrestle Talk. Pikachu Black. Just going to keep going here for a second. James H. 5-star. 5-star says SmackDown was garbage. Last night, rinse and repeat. We disagree. Regito Boy. Zach Menger. Menger. I think it's actually Menger. That sounds about right. Zach Menger. I'll stop right there. One more. Let's do one more. Angela Lockwood. All right, we'll stop right there. Thank you all so much for joining me. You could be anywhere here in the YouTube space. You chose me. I'm always grateful for it. So please hit the like button. And of course, give me your thoughts about SmackDown. Let me know how you feel about WWE overall as a product too. That's my main question to you. Before we get into the news items. How does everybody feel about WWE as a product right now? Do you feel like it's exciting? Do you feel like it's kind of cold? Because I did talk about this on my AEW video. Some of you who didn't see it. I said, yeah, WWE is cold right now. I agree with everybody. Everyone's saying, man, WWE isn't as exciting. Well, yeah. This is usually a period of time where they slow down all storylines. They don't feature their top talent as much, and they give more TV time to the people who don't get it. Liv Morgan took a break. Bianca Belair is back, but not really. She's not wrestling, but she's back on television. Cody Rhodes took a break. He's back. They waited to debut Aleister Black. They brought in Rusev. I gotta start calling him Rusev now. They're trying out different talent from NXT. Why not? It's a cooldown period. They're resetting things. But, as I said, when we get closer to SummerSlam, Money in the Bank comes up next Saturday, things will start to heat up. But you're seeing some new faces and some returning faces come in. This is the time for that. But I'm curious to know, despite all that, how we feeling? How we feeling about the product? Like, are you just like, not as exciting? Or are you someone that still thinks it's pretty good? That's my question to you. All right, let's get to the news items. So the first news item that we're going to talk about, Vince McMahon. Yep. Let's go to Vinnie Mac, our favorite boss that we all love to hate, both in real life and also on television. It came out that John Laurinaitis, Executive Vice President of Talent Relations, John Laurinaitis was dropped from the Janelle Grant lawsuit after agreeing to provide her evidence on the case. Johnny Ace has flipped on Vince McMahon and will be working with Janelle Grant to prosecute him. It's a wrap. It is a wrap. Let me read you a little bit of what was said here. It says here, John Laurinaitis has agreed to cooperate and provide evidence in Janelle Grant's lawsuit against Vince McMahon and WWE. His agreement to a confidential settlement is a pivotal next step towards holding Vince McMahon and WWE accountable and bringing justice to Miss Grant after years of sexual abuse and trafficking. Mr. Laurinaitis looks forward to moving on with his life. We cannot provide any additional details at this time. And there's a big ass lawsuit right here, in case you guys want to see it. Probably need to come into view a little bit, but yeah, it's legit. He's agreeing to help Janelle Grant prosecute Vince. So it's a wrap for him. It is a wrap for Vince. When John Laurinaitis decides, nah, this guy needs to be punished. Goodbye and good night. He's screwed. Speaking of Vince McMahon, apparently he has launched a new investment firm called 14th and I. That's so weird. 14th and I. Why would you? That doesn't sit right with me. 14th and I. And he does it as like that TV 14 kind of ordeal. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So like this right here, 14th and I. That's the logo for his new company, investment firm. The hell? Says here it's for sports, media, and entertainment opportunities. And no, there is no word of him starting another wrestling promotion. It says it right here. Vince McMahon is not interested in pursuing wrestling at this time. So all that talk about him potentially buying WWE from TKO as if they wanted to sell it to him. Apparently this was started because Jonathan Coachman made a statement on Twitter or some kind of social media platform. And he mentioned this idea that Vince is interested, quote unquote, in buying WWE.
Agree to cooperate is equal to, even though you were involved, we'll drop all your charges if you snitch. Laurinaitis is spineless.
Of course he is. He's always been spineless. By the way, I gotta give a shout out to you, Three Diddley. You know I gotta get you. Ladies and gentlemen, the current Super Chat champion. Let's get stealing, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun. Kiss the girls, make them cry. Yeah, I mean, Three Diglets is in the building. Good to have you here, champ. Cannot wait for your title defense next Saturday. And quick reminder, since he is here, both championships will be on the line. Drew Usher and Three Diglets will be defending their belts. So how that works is basically first and second place gets the titles. First place gets world title. Second place gets the international title. It's good to have you here, champ. Please keep your donations going. But yeah, like, This idea that he was going to buy the company back came from Jonathan Coachman, who just mentioned on social media that Vince McMahon was interested in purchasing it back. Doesn't really matter because TKO has actually come out and said they're not interested in selling it. Why would they? They're making hand over fist with WWE right now. They are making more money with WWE than they are with UFC, actually. That's actual facts. That's why they keep going to these foreign countries and these foreign stadiums and selling their tickets at the highest bidder. That's why they're going back to Las Vegas next year. If they're going back to Las Vegas next year. But if they do, that's why. Because they're making so much money off of it. Why in the world would they sell it to Vince McMahon? Especially after the allegations that he's currently going with. Guys, let's just be honest. Vince is toxic. Vince is toxic. I'm sorry. You can admire him for what he's done for the business. You can come up here and tell me that Vince McMahon has done a lot for us. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Vince. All of that's true. But the guy is just a toxic personality to be around. It's that simple. He's not going to get the business back. He's not going to get back into the business. WWE is better off without him. Period. End of story. So, I'm going to need y'all to cut this out. Stop saying he's going to buy WWE. Stop saying he wants to get his company back. Even if he wanted to, it's not happening. Currently, he still has stock in TKO, but it's minuscule. There are people in TKO with more stock than him. They have a better chance of buying TKO, buying WWE than he does. No matter how much money he has. So, the only way Vince McMahon is coming back to the wrestling business is if he starts another wrestling promotion, which is not happening anytime soon. But moving on from Vince McMahon, because we should be done with him for good. SmackDown. According to WrestleVotes, speaking of something we should be done with for good, WWE Smackdown will remain 3 hours for the foreseeable future. Of course. As USA Network is firm on keeping it that length. The network has been pleased with the show's performance, especially numbers-wise, with the added third hour. You want to know why? Because it's the only show worth watching on the USA Network. This is the only show that the advertisers will advertise their things on. Nobody else cares about any other show. What other shows are happening on the USA Network? Law and Order? No one cares about anything else happening. So, of course, they're going to want the largest show possible from the biggest show they have. If all they have on USA Network that people watch are NXT, it's not even NXT anymore. It's because NXT is on the CW. So let me take that back. Just SmackDown. If all they have is SmackDown, then guess what? They're going to throw all their eggs into that basket. I said this months ago. They're going 3 hours, and y'all thinking they're gonna go back to 2 hours now. Now, they might say, you know what? This 3 hours is making us a lot of money. I don't think we should go away from it. That's exactly what they did. The advertisements, the money that they get, based off of the quarterly earnings from just SmackDown being 3 hours alone, there's no reason why they should go back to being 2 hours. It's just less money in their pocket. And this is exactly why they should have just moved everything to Netflix. If they would have moved SmackDown and Raw to Netflix, I think they would have made more money, but also we wouldn't have to worry about shows being too long. The best thing about Raw is the fact that there are sometimes it can be 2 hours, might go a little bit over 3 hours, but sometimes it hits a perfect length. 2.5. A little bit over 2. With SmackDown going 3, there is no wiggle room. They are obligated to go those 3 hours. That's it. There's no, maybe we want to go 2.5. There's no 2.5. You got to go 3 hours or they'll be in breach of that contract. And what do? USA Network's paying you billions of dollars, millions, if anything else, to host a 3-hour show each week. You can't bite the hand that feeds you. And WWE, of course, is suffering from the unfortunate reality that they are the best show USA Network has, so they're going to exploit that. They're going to exploit the 3 hours for as much as it can. It's business. Not surprising, but it is exhausting. The 3 hours is killing SmackDown. It's too long. When they announced it was going 3 hours, I said that's a terrible idea. Less is more. But it is what it is, man. Someone just said 3 hours is hard to get through. SmackDown has dropped to 1.3 million views. I believe it. I believe it because it's too long. And no, the USA Network doesn't give a damn about what the fans want. The USA Network are going to listen to the advertisers. It's that simple as that. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here. Because, that made me upset. Mariah May. Mariah May is officially heading to WWE. Now, those of you who don't know, Mariah May, AEW talent, had this awesome feud for like a year and a half against Toni Storm, AEW's women's champion, where she basically stole her light. She stole her spotlight. Mariah May became women's champ for a couple of months. And then did this awesome feud that ended with one of the best matches all year against Toni Storm, the Hollywood ending, Revolution. As soon as that was done, we all predicted that was it. She's going to be coming to WWE. Because there's nothing left for her to do. She already knew, if I stay, it's all downhill from here. It's all downhill from here. Because Tony Khan wouldn't know what to do with me. And she was right. She made the right call to go to WWE. She left immediately. And now she's coming. And they said it's imminent. It's imminent. So, when does she debut? Does she debut on NXT and take the belt off of JC Jane? Because you already know, if she comes to NXT, she's your new NXT Women's Champ. Point blank, I'm putting the belt right on her. Or, do they move her up to the main roster? And she debuts at Evolution. Something to think about. Imagine Tiffany Stratton versus Mariah May. Ooh, that sounds good. I'm excited about that. But there's plenty of time to bring her in. We shouldn't have to rush that. But I am excited to see what they do with her. And I'm happy she's choosing WWE and she didn't choose to stay with AEW. Finally, the final piece of wrestling news involves another AEW talent, MVP. So, in an interview with Bad Ideas, MVP spoke about why he has zero respect for Triple H and talks about how he chooses to book certain talent. So, remember that big ordeal on IG, on Instagram, where some fan was talking about Triple H not booking black talent as well or as much. And MVP made the comment saying that he agrees with it or something that promotes it, right? And people were like, oh, wow, MVP is calling Triple H a racist, which he never did, by the way. He never did. But you could tell that MVP wasn't very happy with how Triple H was treating certain black talent, right? Well, he spoke on that. And I'm not going to read everything he said, but I'll read a little bit of what he was talking about. And I quote, he says, "Let's just say Bobby Lashley was a 2-time WWE champion. And after he took over, Triple H took over, Lashley was reduced to the mid-card." Pause. Where is Bobby Lashley right now in AEW? Is he a main event player? No. He's in the mid-cards. Tag team champion. Being booked strongly. But he's in the mid-cards. Just wanted to point that out. Anyways. He said he's not booking him strongly. He's booking him in the mid-cards. Bobby Lashley is a bankable, marketable guy. And he just got reduced to mid-card. Whatever. What I said specifically in response to the person on my Instagram page was that you see it. It's my opinion on how he chooses to book certain talents. Some people say all the time that, oh, MVP's just griping. MVP's just crying. Okay, well, just watch the program. Who were the people in the top spots under his leadership? Who were given the opportunities? And I'm not just talking about NXT. I'm talking about the main show. I have my opinions based on my personal experiences. And at some point on my podcast, I'll talk about it. And I'll go in depth about what my issues are with that man. And I'll be honest with you. My issues with him have nothing to do with race. My issues have to do with him as a person and our personal interactions and things that he said and did that caused me to have zero respect for him. And there you have it. Again, that's not the whole thing he said. That's just a little bit of what he said. Here's what I'll say. Do I agree that there isn't as much of a representation for people like me, for black wrestlers in WWE as there is other companies, as, you know, of course, AEW has it? A little bit. You know, I wish there was one black main event player. One. Currently, there aren't any on the main roster. Could there be one? Obafemi, I'm looking at you. Yes. I wish there was. That being said, this gripe that MVP has to Triple H feels a lot more personal than we're letting on, than he's letting on. Because he's mad that Triple H didn't book Bobby Lashley as a main event player. Neither is AEW. Am I lying? He's right. Bobby Lashley is a bankable talent. He is a marketable name. I believe Bobby Lashley should have been a long-term champion. I do believe he could have been a champion under Triple H. Maybe he would have been if he stayed. But there's nothing wrong with booking him in the mid-cards. You can look strong and be bankable, marketable in the mid-cards. Not everybody can be a main event player. Bobby Lashley, although he looks amazing, he's 48 years old. Let me actually verify that. How old is Bobby Lashley? 48 years old. He's going to be 49. He's going to be 49 the day before my birthday. His birthday is July 16th. He's a Cancer. He looks great for 48. Great shape. Probably can go another 10 years. But he's 48. So, Triple H is currently in the mindset of pushing younger talent, right? Let me ask you, if you are a football coach, and yes, football's different than wrestling, I know, but follow me here. If you're a football coach, and you're trying to build a franchise. All your players, all your top players are in their 40s, 42, 43, 46. And you know, in football age, if you're 40, you're an old dude, right? You're old. I'm not saying there aren't exceptions to the rule. But in football, you're 40, you're old. In wrestling, 45 and up, my dude, call it a day. Call it a day. Let's wrap it up. Thank you. I appreciate you for what you do, but call it a day. Triple H is of the mindset, I need to start pushing young, Braun Breaker, Stephanie McCurr, Tiffany Stratton. Yes, we'll future Roman Reigns. Yes, we'll future Charlotte Flair. Yes, we'll future Cody Rhodes. But the future needs more focus, right? Triple H is looking at 23, 24, 25. That age bracket from 23 to about 35. That is his focus right now. Bobby, as much as I love him, and he's a great talent, would it be smart to throw everything behind 48, 49-year-old Bobby Lashley? I don't even think AEW, if AEW made him a world champion, okay, but look, it ain't gonna be a long run. I'm not having Bobby Lashley hold that belt for a year. And to me, the only way Bobby Lashley works is if you do that. Someone like Bobby Lashley should be a dominant champion. He's the one that should be having the 400, 500 day, 1,000 day reign that Roman Reigns had. That's the kind of reign Bobby Lashley should be having. If he was 38 years old, my goodness, let's look here. If Bobby Lashley was 10 years younger, he'd still be in WWE because Triple H would be pushing him. But everyone's sitting here wondering, like, why isn't people like AJ Styles? Why aren't people like The Miz, Finn Balor, and all these other people getting all of these strong pushes? Well, he's 48. Now, someone just brought up John Cena. Okay, well, hold on for a minute. CM Punk, John Cena. Again, exceptions to the rule. Those are megastars. These are top quality Hollywood names. You know what I mean? Now, yeah. Oh, well, John Cena's 48. John Cena is literally one of the greatest of all time. And this is his last run. And guess what? Before this, what was John Cena doing? He was jobbing. He lost to Austin Theory. Right? Again, I don't mind Bobby Lashley being a world champion, but I understand where Triple H is coming from. He's worried about the future. It's nothing personal against Bobby Lashley, but he's thinking like a coach. He's thinking like a football coach. Here are the future. These guys, the vets, the Randy Ortons, the Miz, listen, they're here to make these guys look good. And by the way, I think CM Punk is actually 45. Hold on, let me see. How old is CM Punk? How old is CM Punk? 46. He's going to be 47 this year. Okay. All right, well, still, that's pretty up there. And even CM Punk has said that this is his final run. Like, after this contract expires, he's going to become a trainer. 3 Diglett said it. John Cena's status is higher than most on the men's roster, so he gets a few perks. It's good for business. Thank you. That's just how business is. Nothing personal. That's just how it is. So, while I see where MVP is coming from, and I'm not at all faulting him for feeling this way, I get it. Bobby Lashley is a world champ, world championship material. A fucking tank for a 48-year-old. Gonna be 49 this year. in great shape, probably can go another 10 years. But for him to work as world champion, you would need to give him a long, dominant run. I don't know if Bobby can do that anymore. And I think that's exactly why Triple H had him in the mid-cards. And that's exactly why Tony Khan has him in the mid-cards. Does that mean he won't eventually move up and become a world champion? That's not what I'm arguing. I do believe, especially in AEW, yeah, he has a higher chance of being a world champ there than he did in WWE. And he probably will be a AEW world champion by the time this is over with. But all I'm saying is this. I'm not going to fault Triple H for not pushing him. Not in this case. I get it. And I don't fault Bobby Lashley for walking out because Triple H refused to push him. I get both sides. Bobby believes he should be a world champion. You know what, Bobby? Cool. Go to a company that will make you a world champion, that will put all of their eggs in your basket, and prove. Prove to us. Prove to us that Triple H made a mistake. All I'm saying is this. If I was in charge of WWE, I wouldn't push Bobby Lashley either. And I'm black. I would push him as a strong mid-carder. But for him to be the world champion I need him to be, I don't think he can do that anymore. Right? The kind of world champion Bobby Lashley should be booked as. That's what I will be booking Obafemi to be. See, Triple H, I guarantee you, when he calls up Obafemi, he's going to give Obafemi the push that MVP thinks Bobby Lashley should have. How old is Obafemi? Like 28? How old is Obafemi? 27. Holy shit, he's 27 years old. That's the guy that's going to get the Bobby Lashley push. That's your next Brock Lesnar. Obafemi is your next Brock Lesnar. How old is R-Truth? Someone said R-Truth is 53. Let me see. Yeah, he's 53. Jesus Christ. All right, well, y'all give me your thoughts about that. That's going to conclude our wrestling topics. I think it's time we move on to SmackDown. So let's go ahead and talk about Friday night SmackDown. This is from May 30th, 2025, and they were live in, I believe, Knoxville, right? Knoxville, Tennessee, sold out crowd. You know, even for their cold periods, they continue to sell out arenas. That's crazy. They opened up with Bianca Belair, hometown girl. She came out, did her thing, and then was immediately interrupted by Naomi. Naomi didn't give her a chance to breathe. Can I just say, Naomi's acting is top quality. Her character work as this unhinged, psychotic, benevolent, dark, serious persona is next level. It's something that not a lot of wrestlers can do. And you're seeing how much of her veteran experience is coming into play. And I love it. I hope they put the belt on her. This is the time to give her the championship. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel about it. She said she went to go visit Naomi in her home and she wasn't there, so she let herself in, so she broke into her house. And then Bianca, she went to go sit, excuse me, let me try that again. She went to go visit Bianca, but she wasn't at home, so she broke into her house. And Bianca's like, if you ever do that again, I'm going to hurt you. You're going to regret it. I'm going to do you worse than what Jade did to you. And then Naomi started crying, right? She's tearful. And she's very emotional. And then she goes, you know, Bianca, it wouldn't be good for you and your mama to be in a wheelchair. And then, like, instantly, she flipped from crying to, like, this sinister smile. And I was like, ew, that's next level acting right there. She's going for an Oscar. She wants that Oscar, bro. That was crazy. That's where I just went, just give her the belt. Just give her the belt. Don't worry about Money in the Bank, just give her the belt. Because that was crazy. Legit crazy. Jade came out, attacked Naomi. But then, there was a point in the promo where we see Jade side-eyeing Bianca. And Bianca's like, what you looking at me like that for? I didn't do anything to you. Jade's been doing that for a while. Jade's been side-eyeing Bianca. Like she knows something we don't know. Listen, I'm going to keep saying it. I think Bianca was involved with that attack last year, and I think Jade clocked her. It's just subtle storytelling. Little things like that make me think, yeah, I think Bianca was involved. She's just hiding it. And Naomi attacked Jade for Bianca. And Jade knows that. It'll come out soon. It's just more long-term storytelling. This is one of those instances where I'm like, all right, Triple H, I get that you're trying to tell a long-term story. But man, can we wrap this one up? You get what I mean? Like, yes, long-term stories are great, but damn. Get to the point. Today, Junior. You know what I mean? But they did the triple threat women's match for Money in the Bank qualifying match. Naomi, Nia Jax, and of course, Jade Cargill. Match was not great. Jade and Naomi had to carry, literally and figuratively, had to carry Nia Jax. And not the best match. Not the best match. Nia almost busted Jade Cargill's bladder. Almost made her pee on herself. She fell right on her stomach. Hard. That shit looked like it sucked. And then Naomi rolled her up 1, 2, 3. So Naomi gets the win. Heads some Money in the Bank. She is my pick to win. Now, I am predicting Stephanie McMahon to be the last entrant. And she'll be there on Saturday as well. If Naomi doesn't win, I would love for Stephanie to win it. Would love for Stephanie to win Mrs. Money in the Bank. But I think I'm going to go with Naomi. You also have Roxanne Perez. I think Roxanne Perez would also be a great Mrs. Money in the Bank. You have a lot of chances, a lot of choices for the Mrs. Money in the Bank. But the best one is Naomi. Naomi's number one. She should be women's champ sometime this year. Period. I don't think Alexa Bliss is going to win it. I don't think Alexa Bliss needs to win it. I think Alexa Bliss is going to fight Tiffany Stratton. Anyways, I think she'll end up fighting her probably SummerSlam, if I'm being honest with you. But we'll see. But yes, I have Naomi winning Mrs. Money in the Bank. So let's see if I'm right about that. After this, I think we got a backstage segment with R-Truth talking to JC Mateo, Jeff Cobb, of course, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu. He said, you guys big boned it. Almost made Jacob Fatu crack. You know he turned his head because he was about to fall out laughing.
The immortal Rhea Hogan is going to win MITV.
Brother! Probably. You're probably right about that. I didn't even think about Rhea Ripley. I hope she doesn't. She doesn't need... It's like... Literally, it's like Alexa Bliss. Rhea Ripley doesn't need to win Money in the Bank. She can just get a title shot. Anyways, she might actually get that title shot at, what is that? SummerSlam? Maybe Evolution. I don't know. Nah, she better not win Mrs. Money in the Bank. That will make me upset. But he called her Rhea Hogan. That's great. Chelsea Green. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, Chelsea Green's now wearing a protective mask because Zelina Vega actually broke her nose when they had that championship match at Saturday Night's main event. And they're doing this thing where she's still going after the belt. and Alba Fire and who's Piper Niven. They keep going after Zelina, and they all look dumb and incompetent, quite frankly. Not really a fan of it. I'm not a fan of this feud. Like, I was cool with Zelina winning the belt as like a charity kind of thing, where it's like, thank you, Zelina, for all you've done. Here's a championship win. Cool. Her title reign sucks. It's not appealing to me whatsoever. I'm ready for her to lose the belt. So either she loses the belt back to Chelsea Green, or I'm going to need Julia to go ahead and get that belt off of her. Loved her promo tonight. I loved her promo on this show. This didn't happen tonight. This happened last night. But the promo that Julia did was excellent. That was great. And I hope they feature her more. JC Mateo squashed R-Truth. Hey, if you've seen any of Jeff Cobb's matches, whether it's him as Matanza and Lucha Underground or him as Jeff Cobb, this guy is athletic. This man can do shooting star presses, moonsault splashes, like it's nothing. He's a very athletic dude. And I think Triple H knows it, and he's going to feature him a little bit more and more over time. After the match, freaking Big Jimmy Uso came out to save R-Truth, and he paid for it. Big time. We have another tag team segment. Street Profits are interrupted by Fraxium. Fraxium is interrupted by Motor City Machine Guns. Motor City Machine Guns is interrupted by DIY with Candice LeRae. And they all get inside the ring talking about, we want to fight for the tag team titles. And guess who interrupted them? The Wyatts. The Wyatt Six come out and laid waste to all of them, just like they did last week. So I wasn't here last week to talk about the Wyatt Six coming back. I am so happy they're back. Good God, the Wyatt Six add so much to this tag team division. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not give a fuck. I did not give a rat's ass about this tag team division. It was so bland and so lifeless. I'm sorry, it wasn't working for me. I'm so happy that the Wyatt Six is here. They instantly added interest, instantly added intrigue. And now I love it. Every time they show up, I'm interested to see who they beat up. So, absolutely. Give the belts to the Wyatt Six. They should have it anyways. And we should consider giving a belt to Uncle Howdy or Bo Dallas. What are we calling him? Is it Bo Rotunda? Bo Dallas? Uncle Howdy? You know who I'm talking about. The leader of the group. But yes, the Wyatt Six adds so much to the tag team division because it's been boring. It's been boring. Javon Evans and Rey Fenix. Yes, NXT's Javon Evans wrestled on SmackDown. Him and Rey Fenix took on Los Garza with All Ego Ethan Page on commentary. Ego. So, Ethan Page is now the North American champion. He beat Ricky Starks for that, I think, at Battleground? Or was that on NXT? When did he beat him? It was at NXT, right? Whenever he fought Ricky Starks for the title, he beat him for it. So, Ego. Love him. I think he has a great personality. And let's just be real. Ethan Page is a veteran. He's been doing this for almost a decade. That is actually not true. Let me see something. How old is Ethan Page? 35. Yeah, he's been doing this for about a decade. Probably a little bit more than that. He's already main roster ready. He's been main roster ready. He fits in so naturally with WWE. Yeah, I love the fact that he's North American champ, and he should be called up. But currently, he's working with certain talent, and he's going to be defending that belt at NXT versus AAA Worlds Collide next Saturday. And I think it's against, is it Laredo Kid? Laredo Kid, Rey Fenix, Javon Evans, and Ethan Page. It's going to be a great match. That's why he was here on SmackDown. Did a pretty good job on commentary. But the match was essentially to get over Javon Evans. That boy is bouncy! And the crowd, they warmed up to him a little bit. He's not as over on the main roster as he is on NXT. Like, anytime he bounces off that rope, And you can see it coming because he moves in slow motion. He just gracefully flies through the air when he jumps. It's so good. A young black Will Ospreay, but probably even more athletic. But he's not as over on the main roster as he is on NXT, but he will get there. He'll get there eventually. They lost this match because Ethan Page interfered, which makes sense. Los Garza got to win. They needed a win, by the way, because Jesus Christ, they lose almost everything. They lose almost everything. Alba Fire lost to Zelina Vega, and then freaking Julia came up to her afterwards and said, I haven't ironed your title. Basically. Let me see here. Damian Priest came out, says he's moving on from Drew McIntyre and is now going after Jacob Fatu in the US title. Okay? He's not winning that US title before Jacob Fatu fights Solo Sikoa. We can all agree on that, right? Andrade, El Idolo versus Carmelo Hayes versus the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Money in the Bank qualifying match. Triple threat. This match was great, for the record. Loved it. Great back and forth. They have great chemistry. Jacob is amazing. Crowd basically got behind him immediately when he got out there. When the show started, when the match started, they loved Jacob. He's just a natural babyface. Because he's all gas! No breaks with it! Yeah, I mean! Love it. But this match was great. There was a spot where he was doing his Umaga taunt, where he was shaking and rattling, and he went to go do that big Samoan hip attack into the barricade, and then completely broke the barricade when Carmelo Hayes and Andrade jumped out of the way. That was a crazy spot. But to my surprise, I thought they were going with Carmelo Hayes. I thought they were going with Carmelo. They went with Andrade. That was an interesting choice. Because I'm thinking, well, clearly they're going with Carmelo Hayes here, but before the match, you saw The Miz say, you should do exactly what I say. If you do exactly what I say, you'll win. And he didn't do what Miz said, and so he lost. So there's a story there. Before I continue, Jody Bennett is in the building. The Nature Boy, Jody Bennett. Woo! What's good, Jody? He says, what's up, Alyx? Yeet! I love it. Love it. So the winner of the match was Andrade. He's moving on. Okay. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with Andrade moving up. Although I still feel like Carmelo should be in the match. That's just me. We can agree to disagree. But that's just how I feel. LA Knight basically said he's coming after the MIBT title. This is his third time going for it. I feel like he could win it, although my pick is CM Punk, but we'll see. CM Punk might not even be in the match. We'll find out by Monday. Jacob Fatu got into a fight with Solo, told him he doesn't need him. And then the main event was Cody Rhodes. Big pop for Cody Rhodes. Knoxville loves him. Brought out Jey Uso. Knoxville loves them too. Now, Cody Rhodes mentioned that when he lost the belt, he went home to recuperate, wondered if he was a good champion, talked to someone he trusted who told him he was a good champion. But he mentioned the fact that he's still thinking about the final boss. Still brought up The Rock and how the offer is still on the table. So we're still going with that. We're still going with the sell your soul stuff. They're still bringing it up. They're still keeping it alive. Don't know why, but all right. We'll see where that goes. But he mentioned how he's still going after John Cena. He wants the belt back, and he's gonna end the reign. He's gonna end the reign. He's not gonna be able to make it to the end of his run, right? So John Cena comes out, and then, of course, Logan Paul comes out because Logan Paul is his heat magnet, and John Cena didn't even do all the talking. He basically said, "You hate Logan Paul because he's better than 90% of the WWE roster." Because fuck you. He's right, but fuck you. Don't say that shit to me. That triggers me. It's correct. That's why it makes me mad. Anyways, Logan Paul starts talking, and I puke. I just puke all over the room. And the puke is still on the floor. No, it's actually one of those things where I'm like, that wasn't a half bad promo. And he's so good at working the crowd. Fuck. It's one of those things where it's like, this is why he gets the TV time that he does and why he gets treated the way that he does. Because he's actually not that bad at it. He's actually better at it than a lot of people are on the main roster. I hate it. Does anybody else hate it besides me?
Naomi better win MITB. Reward her for her work.
Please. I agree, Bucks Basement. I agree. So, the segment ends with Jey Uso saying, enough of this talk. We don't have to wait until next Saturday. We can fight right now. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet. And then Logan Paul's like, fuck yeah, let's fight. And John Cena's like, no, bitch, I ain't getting paid to fight you. And so he goes to leave. And then Logan Paul stops him. And he's like, where the fuck are you going? And then John Cena's like, bitch, I will knock you back to being a brunette. I will knock the blonde out of your scalp. You know what I mean? And then that's when Cody Rhodes hit him with the line of the night. He's like, hey, what's going on? Oh, let me get it right. Let me get this right. I want to get this line right because it was a hell of a line by Cody Rhodes. Let me say, Peacemaker. He said, what did he say? Oh, he said, there we go. He said, what are you guys arguing about? Are you going to go to the back and polish his Peacemaker? Cody Rhodes never misses an opportunity for a dick insult. I remember his line against The Rock. Little dick syndrome. God damn. He came with the fire. See, Cody Rhodes can turn it up at any point. That was funny. They brawl. Cody and Jey Uso get the better of them, and then there you go. That's how we end it. And that was the show. So, a very decent, average closer to an overall pretty solid show. I thought SmackDown this week was pretty solid. And, again, things are going to start picking up. Especially after Money in the Bank. Because that's when we start to build towards SummerSlam. But it's not just SummerSlam. You also got Night of Champions. And you also got Evolution. Well, Saturday Night's main event as well. So, oh my goodness, there's so many events. So you got Night of Champions, and then Saturday Night's main event, and then Evolution, then SummerSlam. So they're going to have to really turn things up quickly. Quickly. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited. So there you go. That's my thoughts on SmackDown. Give me your thoughts. How are we feeling about WWE right now? And for real, like, I asked this on my community tab with YouTube. What are your overall thoughts when it comes to WWE currently? Are you excited about it? Do you feel like it's not as fun? Like it's gotten kind of cold? Like, talk to me about that, because I'm curious to know where everyone's head is when it comes to WWE. Alright, let me go back and read some of this stuff. What y'all in here talking about? Catch up. Game Shock says, if Cena was going to win his matches clean as a heel, fine. Should have been an honorable heel champion like Okada's 720-day reign, IWGP Heavyweight Championship, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, where he was an honorable heel. I didn't even realize that Okada was a heel. I always thought Okada was a babyface. But alright, maybe you're right. Maybe he was an honorable heel. Let me see here. JJ Bulldog. Alyx, did you hear Vince McMahon has a new company now? We talked about that. 14th and I. It's not a wrestling company though. Nels Wrestle Talk says, why is Chad Gable in another Money in the Bank qualifying match in a mask? It's not right. Karrion Kross should have been in that match. Karrion Kross needs to be featured a lot more than he is. He's an excellent talent. He's been killing it lately. Lexis King's NXT run was better than his AEW run. Lexis King is actually not that bad. He should be called up soon as well. Sean Swaby, if CM Punk gets into the Money in the Bank match, will he and Seth Rollins cancel each other out? Or will Seth pull a James Ellsworth with Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed grabbed the briefcase from Seth. Grab the briefcase for Seth. I can speak English. Probably. We'll have to see. You are welcome for that awesome introduction, Three Diglets. I will give it to you every single time. Yo, Ronwell, why you talking mess against Three Diglets? Ronwell says, luckily for you, I'm not challenging for the Super Chat Championship at this time because I do have a Duke Comic Con in New Mexico on June 27th and 29th, and I wanted to meet my young idol. And then Three Diglets said, luckily for me, that's top level delusion. Y'all better stop messing with Three Diglets. Y'all better stop messing with him. Speaking of Three Diglets, he says he doesn't get the hype for Mariah May. Wow. Really? How are we feeling about Mariah May? JJ Bulldog says Mariah May will kill it on NXT. Game Shock says she might go straight to the main roster and be on Raw. She might. Mariah May versus Julia on SmackDown. That's a good match. I wouldn't mind that. MVP has beef with Triple H. Yeah, how are we feeling about MVP? MVP just shot himself in the foot with his statements. I don't think he did. I disagree with him. But yeah, I think he's fair to feel that way. I think it's a fair way to feel. Bobby Lashley since 2020 has been Black Brock Lesnar. That ain't me being offensive. Had a great MMA career in Bellator, won the world title twice, and had a dominant reign. He did. I agree. He looks great for 48. Bobby looks great for 48. And there's a lot of wrestlers in the 40s and 50s who are still wrestling. I agree. But again, if I'm Triple H, I'm aiming for the future. You get what I mean? The immortal Rhea Hogan. Mercedes Hogan, Rhea Hogan. There's a lot of Hogans here. JJ Bulldog says LA Knight needs to win this more than CM Punk. Yeah, I'm cool with LA Knight winning the briefcase. I think he'd be good with it. He could end Cena's reign, and I'd be cool with that. Okada became babyface in New Japan during his 5th IWGP Heavyweight Championship run. He was an honorable heel during his 4th IWGP Championship reign. Really? His first 4. But he was a villain. That's interesting. Okay. Didn't know that. Adam Ritter says it's his birthday tomorrow. He'll be 33 years old. Well, happy birthday, Adam. Happy early birthday. Jody Bennett, do you think Roxanne will help Liv win on Monday? She'll try to, and then she'll fail. I think Stephanie McCur's taking that match, and then she'll go on to Money in the Bank. And I think Roxanne will screw her over. Lexus King is doing his best work. Julia Hart is basically the leader of the Hounds of Hell and doing great. Griff Garrison is not a frat boy gimmick. I saw that! The frat boy gimmick. Honestly, that was so ridiculous that I was entertained by it. A frat boy gimmick in AEW. Alright, y'all, let me go ahead and get out of here. So I would clock it at about an hour and a half. We're almost there. Let me go ahead and end it here. Thank y'all so much for joining me here on this Saturday live stream. As you follow out, do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash, and Venmo. You will see me again on Monday. And then you'll see me again probably a little bit sooner than Friday for my preview and predictions. So be sure you're ready for that. Or you know what? I think I'll just do my preview predictions on Monday. Can I just do it on Monday for Raw? And then do my AEW stream or my AEW video and just see you guys for Saturday, Money in the Bank? Let's do that. We'll play it by ear. But until then, I'll catch you guys next time. You guys are amazing. I love you all. Take care of yourselves. Be kind. This is Alyx, just Alyx, signing out right here in Alyx's world, the place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Peace.
When you're